and I thought I would do a quick interview because I've had so many of my friends to ask what your secret is and how you live to be 95, disease-free, no diseases, healthy still. She lives on her own. She drives every day. She drives just in a day now, but still she gets around on her own. She lives on her own, very independent. So a lot of people would like to know how you do that and what your secrets are. One thing I would like to ask right now is, I know that colon cancer is very prevalent in our family. We've had a lot of family members to pass away from colon cancer. And with you being 95, how do you think that's something that you were able to avoid getting colon cancer? Do you have any secrets? What do you do that you think might help or has helped?
Well, I think before I started doing the sea salt water, someone had told me about that program, so I was doing that, but I still got blockage in my small intestine. So I had to go to the doctor for that, and then I came to it. Well, I did have the operation, so I came to it okay. And then the doctor told me to make sure I was doing fine, but make sure that I keep my bowels open, and so that.
You talked about doing milk of magnesia.
Yeah.
So now
so
you do
he told
that.
me, the doctor told me to do milk of magnesia and to keep my bowels open. So now I use milk of magnesia sometime, and I do the salt water sometime, but
Right.
I just make sure that I keep my bowels open. Especially if I eat a lot of junk food or I eat a lot of food, and I don't want it to lay in my stomach, and just be conscious of what's there. And then I just want to keep it moving.
Right.
I don't want it to lay there because I know it's not good.
Right.
So.
The one thing with the sea salt water, I know that you were doing that every Saturday morning, and you would put 2 teaspoons of sea salt in a quart of warm water, and it was spring water, right, or bottled water?
Yeah, bottled water.
Bottled water. And even though you had that blockage, the doctor said that your intestines were very healthy, and they ended up only, even though they done the surgery, it was from scar tissue, right? They had to snip the scar tissue, and everything, they said, went right back into place. They said they were amazed at how healthy your intestines were. And I think that probably had a lot to do, and this is just me, I'm not a doctor or whatever, but I just think it probably had to do with you doing the sea salt water wash every Saturday morning. For years you've done that, and you still continue to do that. So I think that may be one of the secrets that that you do that not everyone does or even knows about. And now you interchange that with the milk of magnesia.
So how fluently do you do this? How fluently do you do like your stretches and stuff?
I just be doing some. I just be doing just enough to keep my limbs flexible. Yeah. Nowadays I usually do this like this. Help my arms and my shoulders.
So tell me, how do you use the apple cider vinegar? Like I said, I know you use the, I think it's Bragg's, and you have that book that is good for almost everything.
Yes.
But what do you use it for? How do you think it helps you?
I think it's because I can't eat a lot of spicy foods. And I've read in that book that about a half an hour before you, like if you're gonna have a spicy meal, you can get a glass of water, and then you put half of and when you put apple cider vinegar in the water and with some honey, and you drink that down about a half an hour before you eat your meal, and then I won't be bothered with the spicy. You know?
Okay, so you can tolerate the spicy foods better,
right?
If you drink the apple cider vinegar, and then you put the honey in there as a little sweetener.
Yeah. And then I read too where apple cider vinegar is really a medication for your stomach overall.
Okay.
You know, and if you drink that, and it's a picker upper too. Like if you be feeling down, and
I use it sometimes, in, like when I would get home and I would be feeling kind of tired before I work out.
Yeah.
I would get a little. It's almost like a little tonic.
Right.
Water, apple cider vinegar, and some honey, and drink that down, and it gives you energy.
Yeah, it gives you some energy.
Yeah.
So I just believe in apple cider vinegar, you know, drink that, you know, and it just, I think it helps to keep my stomach healed, you know, inside. And with the...
You don't have any problem with ulcers or anything like that?
No, I don't have any. I did have ulcers years and years ago before I, you know, before I knew about the apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
But I don't have any ulcers.
And you don't have to take any of that Pepcid and all that kind of stuff? None of that?
That's something in the past.
Really? Hey,
I've took all kinds of, through the years, I've took all kind of acid, antacid.
And acids and stuff. But now you just do the
apple.
apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I don't take that stuff no more.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
No
good to
more.
know.
Yeah.
All right, cut.
Back of my thighs here.
Hi, so we're back with my mom, who's 95 years old today, or I should say 95 years young today. And so I want to ask you a couple questions. Like I said, I've had so many people to ask me what your secrets are. So one thing, what do you usually eat for breakfast? You have a staple or a regular diet that you try to follow?
Yeah, I just kind of made up my own diet. I used to worry about gaining weight and all of that kind of stuff, and I was like up and down. So I heard that boiled eggs was good for you. So I just kind of made up my own menu, and every morning, my diet, every morning, the first thing is a smoothie. Because I know I need a lot of fruit, you know.
Right.
So I make my own smoothie, and with fruit, and just put whatever fruit in. Sometimes it's fresh fruit, sometimes it's frozen fruit.
Okay.
And
you just blend that up and
blend it up, and
you put anything else in it?
And I sometimes I put yogurt in it, and sometimes I don't. And the first thing I drink is about a half a cup of smoothie in the morning. And then I have at least a half a cup of yogurt, maybe with blueberries in it.
If you haven't put the yogurt in your smoothie.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's in there because I make it in a bigger container, you know.
You make it like for the week, so you have enough for the whole week.
And then I'll have the boiled egg, and I kind of crush it up, and I use minced garlic. I put me about a teaspoon of minced garlic in my boiled egg, and then I put in coconut oil, or either
the olive oil.
Olive oil.
Okay, so you kind of make it like
crush it up, and I eat it like that.
Just one egg,
and
then the smoothie.
Smoothie,
and that's your breakfast.
Yeah, and sometimes I have a cup of tea. Sometime, but that's the main thing is the that boiled egg smoothie, boiled egg, and
the garlic
with the into the
oil.
yeah,
About how much
yeah.
oil you put on there? Like the olive
I would
oil?
say probably about two tablespoons of
2
oil.
tablespoons?
Yeah.
Wow, that seems like a
crush
lot.
You
You
take
crush
a
the
fork
egg up.
and then I'll have
So
my
you almost have it like the deviled eggs,
yeah,
but
like
you
the
use
paste,
the
yeah.
olive oil.
Yeah,
And
and I
then the
crush it up
garlic.
with the fork, you know,
Mhm.
and I eat that, and then as I said, I have like about a half a cup of yogurt,
Okay.
and then
So that's breakfast.
and that's breakfast, and I have a cup of tea. Sometimes it's green tea, decaffeinated green tea, or either detox tea. I
Oh,
take
okay.
that sometime.
Keep you
Yeah.
cleaned out too.
And
Huh?
that's just,
That's it.
I feel if, you know, that's my meal daily, you know, my breakfast meal daily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut. And we're back talking with my mom. It's her 95th birthday today. And I wanted to also talk about how you're able to get up the steps. She has 2 sets of stairs in her house, and she gets up and down the steps with no problem. I also wanted to just mention, you know, just how you're able to keep your weight down. No problems with being overweight or anything. We already talked about your breakfast, what you eat for breakfast. What about like lunch and dinner? What do you do for lunch and dinner? How do you keep your weight down? How do you stay healthy?
Well, most time I'll dinner. Most time I just have 2 meals a day, especially if I have a late breakfast. And then sometime if I don't feel like cooking, then I'll have a big salad, and I'll maybe have some lunch meat on top of the salad for my protein. You know, and I have a big salad, and that's be my dinner. And then sometime if I make a pot of beans or pot of soup or something like that, that will be my dinner. And I tried not to, I've got away from a lot of it. I've tried not to eat after 7 o'clock in the evening,
That's good.
And for years now, I've been able to keep my weight under 150 for years.
Okay.
Because I manage my weight by what I eat.
Right.
And I can go between 145 and 150. That's where I keep my weight. Between 145.
Do you check the
and
scale every day? Do you get on the scale every
Not
day?
every day, but I check it enough not to go
When
over.
you start going up, you know,
I know.
to cut back.
I don't let it go to 150. I can go from 145 to 150.
That's your range.
That's my range. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's the way I can keep. I don't have to
Keep
worry
a check
about
on it.
Yeah, gaining weight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
So that was the end of the interview. So how do you guys feel about all the exercising and stuff?
Well, I know Mom gets up in the morning. She does her stretches on the floor. There's a lot of things that she can do. Even, I think when you turn 80, I remember one time when we all went to the gym with you, me, Rita, Rosie. We all went to the gym. It was my mom's gym because we had came home and visited, and she took us to the gym with her. And we all got on the treadmill, and you got on the treadmill and turned up your incline. And I mean, you were trucking, and we were all looked at each other like, what? And so then we all turned up our inclines trying to keep up with her mother, you know, who was like way older than us at the time. And even now, I really can't touch my head to the floor, but she can stretch. She can put her head down to her knees. She can put her head down on the floor. She does her stretching, still works out with her weights, her hand weights. Ankle weights. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yep.
So,
Thank
so
you.
proud of my mom. Love you, Mom.
I love you too, Trevor.